Millions of people travel by plane every year. According to the statistics made before the COVID pandemic, 4,543,000,000 registered passengers were detected in 2019. Airplanes have now become a part of our lives and even a permanent living space for some people. Millions of people stay in the air for hours and make long journeys. Almost everyone can travel by plane. It travels from the zero age group to the oldest, from the pregnant to the chronically ill or people in need of care, and everyone expects the trip to be a good one. Passengers may encounter medical problems on the plane while traveling and may be affected by pressure changes, turbulence, and air currents. In people with chronic illness, an acute exacerbation can occur at any time during flight. Even deaths are possible. According to a study of 1.5 billion air passengers, emergencies are extremely rare. Airlines bear serious responsibilities as a result of the life-threatening danger of a passenger during the flight. Emergency landing on route changes cause serious financial losses of the airline. There is a first aid kit on board for the health of both passengers and cabin crew. However, this bag only contains some items for therapeutic purposes. There is no diagnostic equipment in the aircraft for possible medical emergencies that may develop during the flight. Professional medical devices to be used for this purpose should be light, wearable, and capable of communicating with base stations on the ground. We have not been able to implement such a system until now. With new advanced technologies, this situation has changed. A new health monitoring system has been prepared during the flight with Dr. Bird. This system, whose clinical trials have been completed, is a system that contains the most necessary medical diagnostic devices in a small bag and allows all medical measurements to be followed in real time from a telemedicine center. Dr. Bird's system components consist of Cloud Monitoring Case, CMC, is a communication case and medical wearables. Cloud Communication System, CCS, is a software and communication platform. Airline Telemedicine Center, ATMC, is a health professional service, second opinion of the specialist doctor on the ground in possible serious cases. Medical wearable devices in CMC are as follows. Health Monitor. It is a device that can measure 6 vital parameters. It can measure blood pressure, pulse, ECG, fever, saturation, and blood sugar. The measurements made are instantly transmitted to ATMC via CCS. It is a very important device for the hemodynamic monitoring for passengers. Patch ECG. It is a wearable device used for cardiac diagnosis. It is very easy and practical to carry and weighs only 10 grams. The device is waterproof. ECG data is recorded instantly and transmitted to ATMC via real-time CCS. It is a very important device used in the diagnosis of heart arrhythmias, heart attack. Glucometer Bluetooth. It is an extra device used in blood glucose measurement. Once the measurement is made, the data is instantly transmitted ATMC via CCS. iStat. It is a device that can analyze 28 different blood values with a drop of blood. It can also be called a small laboratory. In this context, the most important blood analysis parameters such as blood gas, oxygenation rate in the blood, lactate rate, troponin, D-dimer are measured. Thus, It allows the diagnosis of acute diseases such as heart attack, pulmonary embolism, etc. It is a gateway that provides communication with all medical devices. In the case of using this gateway, ATMC can access real-time health data, ECG, blood sugar, etc., of a passenger during the flight at any time. CCS content is as follows. It is a very sophisticated remote patient monitoring software, allows video conferencing with ATMC, allows instant messaging or voice messaging with ATMC. If the patient has a chronic illness, ATMC can see all the medications used by the patient from here. During the flight, CCS informs the passenger what to pay attention to and what to take with him before the flight with a warning recommendation module, thanks to an algorithm in the background. ATMC can even access past radiological images of the patient or passenger via CCS. CCS instantly shares the measurements in all CMC content with ATMC, allowing cabin personnel to see it as soon as the measurement is made. Instant notification of the doctor on the ground with a code blue system, with the use of VoIP technology, informing the relatives of the patient or elderly passengers periodically with the information obtained from the measured values. ATMC content is as follows. Each airline can establish its own telemedicine center if it wishes to manage it. This center can also be outsourced, for example, a hospital or medical center. In the telemedicine center, the data falls directly to the mobile phones of the health professionals on the ground. That is, health professionals do not need to be in a certain place for remote monitoring. Doctor on duty system can be set up and instant medical response to calls can be received. Just as there is an ATC, air traffic control system, an ATMC system can be set up to obtain the opinion of a specialist doctor in possible serious situations. A patient who has just had surgery or has just been discharged from the hospital can be monitored during the flight by the doctor of the patient and can be under constant control during the flight. Any patient or passenger who wants to feel safe can request it. Potential uses of Dr. Bird. Definitive diagnosis in flight emergencies, especially the differential diagnosis of panic attack and heart attack. The most authoritative decision mechanism for unplanned landings. Elimination of the need to search for a doctor during the flight. Available direct contact with a specialist doctor on the ground. Monitoring, if required, of pregnant during flight. Patient transport and in-flight monitoring, also possible by the patient's own doctor. If necessary, monitoring for passengers with flight anxiety. Early recognition of potentially life-threatening complications and chance of intervention. Sharing information with relatives on the ground about the patient's health status with VoIP technology. The name Dr. Bird comes from a species of birds that lives only in Jamaica. The origin of the name Dr. Bird is somewhat unsettled. It has been said that the name was given because the erect black crest and tails resemble the top hat and long tail coats doctors used to wear in the old days. Other schools of thought believed that birds cut flowers with their beaks to extract nectar, as if they were cutting an abscess like a lancet. We are with you when you travel.